The kid wants to put glue on his balls. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Planet CHH. Come on in. We're talking about a movie today that is truly one of the most insane, bizarre movies I've ever seen in my entire life. So, a while back, my friends, we were doing the Severin sale, and my friends were telling me, oh, dude, you got to pick up the peanut butter solution. Oh, yeah, it's wild, man. You ought to grab it. This movie is proof of a cross-dimensional plane where every now and again movies can cross into our world where we're not supposed to have these movies. They're so weird and they make so little sense that they slip through the cracks. Like, you look at the Super Mario Bros. 93 movie. That is a movie that slipped through the cracks into our dimension. The movie's bizarre. The Goombas look like devil hound predators from hell instead of Goombas. I mean, they're nightmare fuel. A movie like The Peanut Butter Solution was so undersold to me, and I think, I'll be honest with you, I think seeing this as a kid would have made it even worse on me. This movie is insane. Have you ever heard of a kid's movie that abducts children? Let's start from the top. Okay, guys, so I love Severin Films. Severin Films is a great company. They have a line called Severin Kids. I have a title from them. One of the titles I have is called My Grandpa is a Vampire. That's a great movie. I love that. It's a great Halloween movie, too. But anyway, here it is. Severin Kids, The Peanut Butter Solution. Now, that artwork is kind of weird, but when you look at that, it's like, whoa, what's going on? You got a bunch of people, you got peanut butter here, and maybe it's some kind of whimsical fairy tale movie. Well, let's reverse the art and look at that and see if it gives us a better example of what we're dealing with. Okay, so when you flip this around, the artwork becomes even crazier and makes less sense. Let's see, The Peanut Butter Solution. Okay, we got a kid, okay, we've got a window in the sky. We got a dog on a mat floating in the sky, a snare drum, a grocery cart, and a sandwich. And the moon in the background. This artwork makes even less sense. So what the hell is this movie about? The plot of this movie is not a plot. It's just circumstantial insanity. You've got these two kids that are friends. The mom is out of the picture, but she's not dead, but she's not there, and you're kind of wondering what the hell is going on. These two kids are going to school. They see this building that was apparently under fire, and the main kid of the movie goes into the building. We don't see what scares him, but something scared the hell out of him. His hair gets all the way up in the air like this, and then he passes out and goes home. The next morning, he's bald. His hair's gone. He's bald. Nobody knows what the hell is going on. Nobody knows why. The dad kind of cares, but the dad has his head so far up his own ass about everything that he's just kind of like, whoa, son, you lost your hair. It's one of those weird movies, right? I understand that this is a kid's movie, but the lack of self-awareness on anybody in this movie is insane. We see the kids go to school. These are like 10-year-old kids. They've got like an advanced art class with this creepy old dude who's the teacher, who's physically grabbing the kids if their paintings aren't any good. And the best friend, who's an Asian boy, bucks up to the teacher, gets pissed off, and then nothing happens. Get ready for this. Get ready for this. We have a scene where the principal of the school says, oh, we're going to have to let you go. We just found out that you've changed your name 4 times. You're basically a liar, manipulator, and you're a threat to children. So, yeah, we got to let you go. Not the cops show up. Not the cops show up or anything. They just say, we gotta let you go. How does this guy get a job here? Imagine if you thought School of Rock was bad when Jack Black lied to his way into becoming Mr. Schneebly. This guy changed his name 4 times, has a criminal record, and was physically assaulting children in class. Then loses his job. The cops don't show up. He loses his job. Meanwhile, what happens next is the kid has a nightmare the next night. These old people are in his house. They're eating food. They're rummaging, calling him Baldy. And then this grandma says, oh, I can fix your hair. Put this in your hair, put an egg in your hair, put buttercups in your hair, do this, do this, do this, and then add a scoop of peanut butter, but not too much peanut butter. Okay, are you following me? So what does he do? He makes this concoction, puts it on his head, but he put in too much peanut butter, so his hair continuously grows, right? You're still following me, right? The hair continuously grows until his hair is about 3 feet long. The dad still doesn't give a rat's ass about any of this. He's still painting his pictures up in the attic like a psychopath that he is. Meanwhile, kids start going missing in this town. They're abducted. All of a sudden, kids are disappearing. And here's the crazy thing. The dad finds out about this. We don't see him going out and running in the streets trying to find his kid. He's just like, oh, damn, my kid's gone. And so the Asian boy, who was best friends with the star of the movie, he comes over and he's like, oh, yeah, I mean, this is crazy. Sister of the lead kid is like, so you know that the kid went missing? My brother went missing? And he's like, oh, yeah, my sister's gone. Yeah, she's gone. Yeah, she's gone. My sister's gone. Yeah, she got abducted too. Anyway, like, what's for supper? And so then we find out that it was the crazy teacher who got fired from the school, started abducting children all over the place. And then what's he do with them? He starts a sweatshop making paintbrushes using the hair from the star of the movie because his hair kept growing. Here's the craziest thing. Are you ready for this? These are 10-year-old kids in this movie. One kid, the best friend, says, hey man, can I have some of that goo to put on my balls so I can get hair down there? Yeah, you heard me right. The kid wants to put glue on his balls so his hair will grow. So then his pubes start growing all the way through his pants in school. The principal is like, hey guys, you guys got to get out of here. We got to expel both of y'all because your hair keeps growing. So then you've got an Asian boy with hair coming out of his balls, down his legs, out of his pants. But then he gets his hair to stop. You want to know why? Because he yells at it, stop. So his hair stops growing. Meanwhile, the other kid who's now abducted, his hair is continuously growing. So let's go back to the sweatshop guy. Lied 4 times to get a job as a teacher, was physically assaulting kids in the school and doesn't get arrested. He's now abducted over 20 kids, puts them all in pink robes, and they're basically cutting up pieces of the kid's hair that won't stop growing so they can make magic paintbrushes. Okay, so here's where things get even crazier. Celine Dion has 2 songs in here. Celine Dion, one of the greatest singers of all time, in one of the weirdest movies ever made. She has 2 songs, and guess what? They're creepy as hell sounding. So then the sister and then the Asian boy decide that they're going to track down the guy who's abducting kids because they get a tip from somewhere that it was him. They start following him, and then one of them jumps into the van and then takes a pipe, shoves it out the back of the van, and is throwing dust through the pipe to lead a trail for the girl to ride her bike and follow him. So they get into this place, all hell breaks loose, and then before too long, the Asian boy convinces the psychopathic guy who lost his job to use one of the magic brushes to paint this picture of a burned house, which is the house we see in the beginning of the film. As he starts doing this, kids are all having a great time. They're laughing at the painting. They're like, yay, this is awesome. And so then after that, what happens is old man decides he's going to go into the house that's in the painting because he goes into the painting, and then he goes into that house. He gets scared, comes out, so then the curse breaks off of the first kid, so his hair stops growing. Finally, the cops and the dad come in. The dad bucks up to the dog to fight. The kids leave. The guy goes to jail, and then the mom comes home at the very end, and she has no clue any of this shit happened. And then another Celine Dion song plays, and then the credits roll. That was the Peanut Butter Solution. This was a kids movie. Kids got abducted. A 10-year-old boy puts peanut butters on his balls so his pubes will grow out of his pants. This is what this movie is. It's psychopathic. I've never seen anything like this. And here's the crazy thing. There's special features on here. I could read them to you, but you could take my word for this. The interview this one guy who was a producer that was in his 80s at the time. He just talked about a bunch of other crazy movies he made. Doesn't really get into the movie too much. The Asian boy from the film gets interviewed in here, talks for 5 minutes like it was the most normal film he's ever made. He's like, yeah, I had a good time. I worked on this. I had a really good time with the dad of the movie. That's it. What the fuck did I just watch? What the fuck was that? I didn't make any of that up. Here's the crazy thing. It sounds like a movie that maybe kids would have wrote a script about, but it's too drug-fueled for that. I mean, at 10 years old, I wouldn't dare put pen to paper at, okay, so the solution he puts on his head makes his hair grow back, so I want to put it on my balls so I'll get hairy balls. The hair comes out of his pants at school, people. This is what this movie was. It was drug-fueled, so I leave you with this. Pick that up from Severin Films. I really enjoyed it. See you guys next time. Huge, giant thank you to all of my Patreon supporters. Without you guys, this would not be possible. To get behind the scenes photos, videos, music, private live streams, and much more, you can subscribe to my Patreon for as little as $1 a month. Thank you to my patrons.